Throughout the years, it has become a sort of a trope to have a badass swordsman character in an anime/manga. People tend to quickly love them, be it due to their cool demeanor, their overall badass nature, or their insane feats of power and skill. There are many insane swordsmen in anime, but two of the most beloved and popular of the bunch happen to so be two of my all-time favorite characters as well. They are Yami Sukejiro, the captain of the Black Bulls, and Kempachi Zaraki, aka the head captain of the 11th Squad. Both characters are incredible badasses, and both are at the top of each series in terms of the power hierarchy, falling only short to the protagonist and the main antagonist of the series. But what would happen if the two were to stumble onto each other? What would happen if a fight broke loose? Who would win this hypothetical match between the two? Well, that's what we will be answering in this episode of the What If Lab. Welcome to the What If Lab, the place where we ponder on the fictional omniverse's greatest questions. Today, we have ourselves one hell of a fight. So like always, I will be going over both characters' speed, strength, and other abilities to find out who will be taking this hypothetical match. Let's first begin with Yami Sukejiro's strength. To better understand Yami's strength, we first need to look at some of the scaling in Black Clover. Let's begin with statements that put the Fire Spirit Salamander at a multi-continental to moon levels of power based on the simple statement of it being able to evaporate an entire ocean with a simple swipe of its claws. This same salamander is later confirmed weaker than the fauna who was using it, who scales to Dorothy as they are both apostles of Sephira. Dorothy is someone who is able to create entire moons within her dream dimension, which would indeed cement this type of scaling, but it doesn't end there. We know for a fact Lake is far stronger than any of the apostles, as he is their rightful leader. We know Lake is still weaker than the demon Sagred, a mid-ranking demon who is far weaker than even the demon Triad, who we later see the Black Bulls defeat, with Yami, after being saved from the Tria Cliff-Off, being able to block an attack from Demon King Lucifero. Lucifero is someone leagues beyond and above any of the mentioned people prior to this, and a being with statements that put him at a possible world-ending to planetary busting levels of power. On the Kempachi side, during the Hueco Mundo arc, he was able to fight Yami, not the Black Clover one, don't get me confused, the Espada one, who is considered the strongest Espada, which would scale him to Ulquiora's possible continental to multi-continental levels of power, given the statement of him destroying Las Noches, which has been calculated to multi-continental levels of power. Kempachi later, during the war against the Quincy's, is finally seen releasing his true inner power, and is shown capable of destroying a meteor with enough force to completely vaporize this. This same meteor was going to annihilate the Cerete, which is a feat that has been calculated to small planet levels of power. Such feat was performed in his Chikai form, which is much weaker than his Bankai form. Kempachi was also able to rip God Gerard's arm with his freaking mouth while in his Chikai, and although his body couldn't handle the power of his Bankai just yet, the amount of power it gave him was still unbelievable. Couple this with the fact that he was able to survive in space and pretty much anything that the Quincy's threw at him, this makes him one unstoppable force of nature. On the speed department, characters in Black Clover have been able to dodge light speed attacks since the early start of the manga, shown when both Yami and Asta fight Pottery, where both Asta and Yami were shown to dodge hundreds if not thousands of light magic attacks. Later on the line, we see Asta get even faster, with his better control over his anti-magic, gaining multiple forms with which he is not only able to take on Raya, who is much powerful and faster than Pottery, but is also able to take on Dark Elf Pottery, who unlike their previous fight, he was amped by devil magic. Asta was also able to react to Lit, and after the 6-month time skip, his power in his base was probably hundreds of times that of the one he had in the Elf arc. Now why would this be relevant to the Yami case? Quite simple, this is because during the time skip, Asta would then go on to get 2 more amps and is still shown to be slightly slower than Yami during their fight against 80% Dante. And like I said before, Yami is later shown to be able to react to Lucifero, which would easily put him in those much faster than light tiers of speed. On the Kempachi side of speed, Vice Captains have been shown dodging beams of light ever since the Soul Society arc, putting them at relativistic speeds. This would definitely put characters like the Captains easily on those faster than light tiers of speed, if not even much faster than light tier. Reason for this is being that Captains are far superior to the Vice Captains, and after many battles and many increases in power plus Bankais, which are 10 times multipliers, Captains such as Kempachi, who is stated as the strongest Shinigami during the war against the Quincy's, would easily put him on those tiers of speed. Hell, if you don't want to accept this type of tiering, we have various light dodging speed feats in the war against the Quincy's to back this faster than light argument, and most of the feats are done in a very casual way by the characters far weaker and slower than Kempachi. Now on to the abilities. In terms of abilities, Kempachi doesn't bring much to the table, aside from his built different body. He is a monster of strength, while extremely skilled, lacks the numerous abilities other captains possess. Yami on the other hand has Ki Sensing and Mana Zone, which both help him predict his enemy's movements, even when they are faster than him. Mana Zone also is able to amp all of his stats. Yami has various spells and attacks he can use to assist him in battle, but the two I will be focusing on are those with which I believe would give him the sound victory against the monster of Kempachi. Yes, you heard me right, I believe Kempachi would lose, and before anyone goes telling me like, oh, Yami loses, he can't even see Kempachi, well, Yami can sense Kempachi with Ki Sense and Mana Zone. And no, Yami would not die instantly to spirit pressure. That is a false no limits fallacy that has been disproven many times by characters surviving intense spirit pressures before. Now, onto why I think Yami would defeat Kempachi. Those two attacks are Dimension Slash and Death Thrust. Two incredible attacks that bypass durability. The first, as its name says it can slash and split dimensions, reaching its target no matter where it is or what's in the way. Meaning Kempachi can't block this attack, for it will literally split him in half. Now, Dimension Slash might be slow, as seen in his fight against Dante, and that's where Death Thrust comes in, as it probably is one of, if not Yami's fastest attack, which literally blows apart whatever it touches. So while I do believe in terms of strength the fight is very close, with Kempachi probably edging Yami out due to more consistent planetary scaling, the speed department is the opposite. Here, Black Clover simply has the more consistent arguments for much faster than speed of light. And even if they are equal in speed, Yami's extra senses definitely give him a clear edge in terms of speed and maneuverability. The fact is, Yami only needs to land one Death Thrust, and even with Kempachi's superior durability, it would immediately mean game over. Unfortunately, my Bleach fans, Yami Sukejiro has this in the bag. The winner is Yami Sukejiro. Thank you for watching, have a great day, please like and subscribe, and see you on the next episode of the What If Lab.